Installed the supports for the music spool, little spring here that keeps the spool pushed to one side. And when you align your tracker bar and the music and all that feeds across, that always puts the music in the same position. You need this little spring to push against that spool. If you take an old VCR tape and open it up, you'll find a spring in there. You take that spring, you can cut it in half. These springs sometimes are a little bit different. And you'll have to put a little more curvature and play with that. You want just enough tension against the spool to where it just barely pushes it over to this side. You don't want it to drag. And the take-up spools, I put bronze bushings on this one, and I use bearings on this one. Getting ready to drill a hole for one of these top hat bearings or bushings. And when you drill a 1/2 inch hole, sometimes it's a little bit loose on that bearing. So I put a couple pieces of paper in here. I'll drill the hole, and then when I clamp up on that without the paper, it'll grab onto that bushing a little tighter. So these two pieces of wood are screwed together before I drill this out. When I take this paper out of here, then that will clamp on that bearing or that bushing tight enough to keep it in place. So we have 3 bushings. We need to get them lined up. The first thing I do is line this bushing up with this bushing. And when that's turning pretty free, then I put in the last one, get it lined up. And the weight of this flywheel doesn't hurt at all. Now that those are aligned, I want to take it apart, and I want to take these bushings out because these are impregnated with oil, and that oil will start soaking into this wood. But it's about time to go ahead and finish this section so we can put the bushings in and leave them in there.